Good morning, everyone. I'm actually making a video on Tuesday, as I usually do. My name is Sherry Minnie. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Colorado in a small town called Keensburg. And today we're doing a very simple card. I've seen it referenced as a SIP card. Stamps, ink, and paper is all that's really involved, and maybe a few embellishments. I apologize for not being here last week, and you probably can tell my voice is not like it should be. However, last week I had no voice at all. I finally came down with whatever's been going around in our area, and hasn't been fun, but I'm back, not 100%, but I'm getting close, except for my voice and having to constantly blow my nose. But anyway, let's get started on this card. I did a very simple one today because I really haven't felt up to doing anything too intricate or detailed. So we're just using a stamp set, and I had to have, unfortunately, some sympathy cards, so I'm making this into a sympathy card, but it could be made into anything, any kind of occasion at all. So to start with, we're using a new stamp set. This is Thankful Garden, and it is actually, I guess it is available. It's an online exclusive that became available in March. It has a bundle. It has the dies and then some beautiful masks that you can color these flowers in, but that takes some more time, and we won't do that today, but we're going to be using this flower right here. We're going to be using a new stamp set. This is going to be featured in the new catalog, the 25-26 annual catalog that will become live on, I believe it's May 6th. And so I'm using one of the greetings out of here. And then I didn't really have the actual sympathy greeting that I wanted. I had ordered it, but it didn't arrive, so I have to reorder. And I'm using one from a retired set. This is called Something Fancy. And I keep a lot of my strictly sentiment stamp sets because I like to have on hand any sentiment that I might want. We're going to be, excuse me, we're going to be using two different ink pads. For our flower, we're using Melon Mumbo, and I'm using Memento Black. Again, you could use any color that you wanted. I have to give a very quick shout out to Jackie Bolthaus from Clomp & Stampers. This is totally her card. I was looking for something very quick and simple, and she posted a video, and I thought that's the one I'm going to be doing. We're also going to use a black marker just to go around and accent the edges of our inside piece. And I'm using some retired bling. These were featured in the celebration that just ended in March, I believe it was. So I'll be using those because I need to use them up. And in your packet, you will have an envelope, as always. We'll have a card base. This is basic beige, and it is our standard 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and that's your base. And then we'll have a piece of, for the inside, we have a piece of basic white. This is 3 3/4 by 5, and we have a piece of basic black, and this one is 3 3/8 by 4 5/8, and then we'll have a piece of basic white to do our stamping on, and this one is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So to get started, we're going to get all of our stamping done first. I will be using, for the big flower, I'll be using my foam sheet because this is a photopolymer stamp, and I like the results better if it's got some foam backing behind it. We'll be using our Melon Mambo ink on this one. Actually, we'll do all of our stamping that we need to do with this color. And I'm just going to ink this up. I'm going to do it this way since it's a rather large stamp, and I want to make sure I get it covered well. And I'm just going to kind of place it over to the left and kind of angle it so that I have room for my sentiment on the bottom. Okay, such a pretty image, and you can color it in and make it even more beautiful But as I said, today we're going the quick and easy route, and we're not going to do that. I need to get a little piece of paper there because, pardon me, I'm so sorry. Eventually this is going to go away. So this is our piece for our, this is our envelope, and I'm going to use a little bit of scrap paper behind it so that I can, I'm going to be stamping off. I can't use this whole image on my envelope, and I'm just going to kind of stamp it down here so that we can dress our envelope, and then we will do a little bit of stamping on the inside. It's very similar to what we just did on the envelope. Just ink it up partially and stamp down. And that takes care of our melon mambo. For our black, we'll be using this for the inside sentiment. And I no longer need the scratch paper. And we will stamp this down and see how straight I can get it. That's pretty good. And then on the front, we'll be doing our With Deepest Sympathy. And like I say, you can use this, you could use any stamp for any occasion that you might want. I just need several of these. And so I decided to go with a sympathy card. And that takes care of that. All right, stamping is done. And we will be doing this card in our upcoming class. However, I will probably not do sympathy unless somebody needs one. Nobody wants them, but sometimes you have to have them. And we wish we didn't, but that's God's plan for us. So hope you had a wonderful Easter. We did. I was able to, we went to church this week. We weren't, my husband and I both, actually my husband got this bug, whatever it is, first, and was so generous to pass it on to me. Now we're going to take our inside layer and put it to the inside of our card. And anyway, he gave it to me, and so the week before, on Palm Sunday, neither one of us went to church. It wasn't that we were feeling extremely bad, but we're pretty strong believers in not sharing our germs. Yes, amongst each other we do, but so we stayed home. So I was so thankful that I could make it to church, especially on Easter Sunday. And then I was able to put a smaller meal, not as elaborate as I usually do, but we had a meal for our kids that were here, and my two granddaughters that live in Texas were actually home, so that was nice to have them home with us. Okay, and now we will take our focal point. Oh, then I forgot to, so what I really meant to do was outline this with my black marker. It doesn't matter, it just makes it stand out a little bit. I don't know if you can even tell on this one that I did that along the edges to make it stand out a little bit. I forgot to do it on this one, so it'll be okay. It's not critical. My brain is not totally functioning at 100%, that's for sure. We really had done very well because this thing has been going around forever, all winter. And Bud, my husband, whose name is Bud, and I had managed to stay away from it, but I don't know. Well, I think I know where we got it, but anyway, we couldn't stay away from it this time. So now we're going to put this on the front. We're going to try to have even borders as close as we can. It is smaller, so you get a nice border of the card base. I got to bring it to me a little bit or I'll never see it. I struggle getting it straight anyway. There we go. Okay, and then the other thing we need to do is choose a little bit of wing to put on our card. I didn't want anything too... A couple of reasons why I chose what I chose. I am trying to be more aware of how thick and heavy my cards are because of the postage. It has just gotten so out of hand. And so this one would just very easily go in a normal, with a normal stamp. No worries about needing a heavy, oops, that's the wrong color. So these are, have two different sizes, and I put a large one at the top, and then just kind of going to put a couple of small ones along the bottom to accent the saying. And that, believe it or not, is it. This is a short card, short video. Hopefully it won't take up too much of your time. So here's the one that we just did. And here's the one that I made earlier. I always, in my sympathy cards, write a Bible verse reference that hopefully will bring comfort to the recipient. I thank you for taking your time to watch this. Hope you have a good day or evening whenever you choose to watch this. And anytime you watch this, I am so very appreciative. I don't get a ton of views, but I appreciate every single one that I get. So may God bless each and every one of you. And hopefully I'll be back next week with a little bit stronger voice and you can understand me a little better. God bless each and every one of you. And I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.